ascending Dwapar Yuga. Ascending Dwapar Yuga, 1700 AD, the world has moved into the ascending Dwapar Yuga. Ascending Dwapar Yuga. And Dwapar Yuga is about 2400 years. How many years we are already into this Dwapar Yuga? We have entered the Dwapar Yuga 1700 AD. So how many years we are already into this Dwapar Yuga according to this calculation?
300, 200 something. No, 300.
300. We are 300 years into the Dwapar Yuga. And what is the age of the Dwapar Yuga? How long is the Dwapar Yuga?
2400 years.
2400 years is the Dwapar Yuga. We are 300 years into Dwapar Yuga. So the next 2000 years is Dwapar Yuga coming. And Dwapar Yuga is the period where we human beings are conquering space. And that is what Yukteswar is telling. Right in the 17th century, what has happened in Europe? The transition that took place in Europe, a galaxy of scientific geniuses came up one by one, and beginning this so-called modern day scientific age. This modern day scientific age that the world is now experiencing is a part of the Dwapar Yuga development, where we human beings are now conquering every day. What are we conquering?
Physical space.
Physical space. We are conquering space. This conquering space is the indication that we are not in Kali Yuga. We have moved on into Dwapar Yuga. That is the characteristic quality of Dwapar Yuga. And in conquering space, when Yogananda was writing the book of Bhagavad Gita, where he had mentioned all this. When he was writing this book of Bhagavad Gita, sitting in America, he was writing in the year 1948. That time he is telling in his book that today man has not gone to the moon, but very soon men will go to the moon. When did man land up in the moon?
1969.
1969. So 1948, Yogananda writing in America, men will go to the moon very soon. And in 1969, within 20 years, man landed on the moon. And now what are we doing? Where is our spacecraft moving now? It is already in the Mars. It is moving out into the Mars. It is moving into the solar system. And I am told the latest is one of our space vehicles left by Americans in 1971, traveling at a slow speed. But that vehicle, which was sent from Earth in 1978, is now on the verge of crossing the solar system and moving on into the galactic system. So space travel, galactic travel, this will all become an absolute reality. Absolute reality in the coming decades. A little change in technology is required, and people will very soon be able to go to the my idea, this is my idea, go to the moon, have a cup of tea and come back. Very soon it is no longer a science fiction, no longer a dream, it will become a very big reality very soon, because we are in a Dwapar Yuga conquering space. And what is your email doing? What is your cell phones doing? This is all examples of conquering space. And I have another example of conquering this with the American. I am very fond of these Americans. They are American engineers. They are now thinking, I don't know whether you people have heard or not, but I have heard this. American engineers are thinking and planning to make a tunnel inside the Atlantic Ocean. They are trying to connect London and New York through a tunnel down the Atlantic Ocean. 3,000 kilometers of tunnel, and a train will move through that tunnel. And they will take out all the air from that tunnel. So the train will move in vacuum. So what will be the speed of that train?
Very fast. Very, very fast.
Very, very fast. So this sort of a thing, even people who are thinking and planning like this, just to think like this, itself indeed, what to talk of doing it on ground, just to think and imagine like this, it is an achievement of the human heart to do things like this. So this cannot be considered as a material thing, and it is something which is negative, something bad. This sort of an achievement is not to be considered on the negative line. These are human aspirations, human achievement, taking us into a higher age, bringing us new technology and new science, and we are conquering space. Another idea which is going on in the West about indigo children. What is the meaning of this word indigo children? I don't know why the West call indigo children, I don't know this. But what is indigo children? What is the idea?
That the children of that generation already have a higher consciousness.
Okay, this is the idea. The predominant idea is this children
I think they use this name of color because it's connected with Shastrara chakra.
Yes,
For this they use this color.
Now I also understood after he gave that definition yesterday. Now I also think
Yeah.
like that is why they took that name indigo child. All these days it was in my mind, why indigo? Why they have taken this
Because
color?
it's the eye chakra.
Okay, so this idea is now coming in the West. Indigo children born with higher consciousness. Now the Indian idea is these are very brilliant children. They may not be indigo children, not so high consciousness, but then they will have the necessary intelligence, the sharpness of that intelligence which is required to bring about this sort of a higher civilization, which is called Dwapar Yuga civilization. So what is happening now is our solar system. Our solar system is now in this part. This is the nearest point, this is the furthest point we have left, and our solar system is every day moving towards the galactic center, receiving a higher amount of energy, and we are not in a golden age, but in a higher energetic age, Dwapar Yuga, and all the characteristics of that Dwapar Yuga culture is going. Then one more idea which I generally always like to give, American civilization and American culture. Today you will be happy, one day you will be happy in my lecture, otherwise you will not be very happy. But this American civilization, this is the idea which I am giving up. Modern America, when was it born? Forget the past because we have no connection with the past. Modern American culture, when was it born?
When
Yeah, would it be the industrial?
The 60s? The 60s?
1776 Declaration.
So your day of independence,
Oh.
1776 when America became independent, that is a day we will just take it as a day when a new civilization and a new culture is born. 1776, and according to this calculation, 1700 AD, the world had moved into the Dwapar Yuga, and America born in 1776. According to our Indian understanding, America is the first of the Dwapar Yuga culture. The next higher culture, America is a good example of the emerging Dwapar Yuga culture. And at this moment, America is leading the whole world in this Dwapar Yuga movement. This is the Indian idea at the moment. And my idea is, if America doesn't change its leadership, then what will happen? What will happen? If America changes its leadership a little bit, it continues to lead the world for some more time. And if it doesn't change, then
China will be.
India will take up, not China. In China, I'm not saying in China.
Yeah, but
The
also-
Chinese will say China will take up.
also
then-
China is strong, huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
Vivekananda in 1897. Vivekananda in 1897 speaking to America, he's saying China is a sleeping giant. It will soon wake up. And when did China wake up? When did it get its independence and now is a big power?
After the end of the communism.
After this, 1949, they got their independence and they emerged as a very huge, big power. But from 1919 onwards, after the end of the First World War onwards, China was emerging, Russia was emerging. So this emergence of China and Russia was known to these masters.